Okay, so one question that I get a lot of with my task 2 structure is, can I get a band 7 with this structure? And the answer is yes. This is just a comment that I got a couple of days ago that I took a snapshot of. Gareth, sir, I was given 5.5 for writing in my first attempt, but after watching your writing videos, I scored 7 in writing. This happened because of your videos. Blah, 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 blah. So yes, the answer is yes if you do it perfectly. If you have excellent grammar, make very few mistakes with your grammar, if your vocabulary is very good, you can get 7 with that structure. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you can upgrade that structure a little bit. If you're worried that it's not going to get you your 7 or 8 for task response, let's see how we can upgrade and improve that structure. So, okay, just to revise quickly, here is the basic structure: general, sentence, specific or contrast, thesis statement, body paragraphs 1 and 2, topic sentence for each paragraph. Then I call this supporting sentence, but I think I should from now on call it the idea sentence, because that's where you put your ideas. A detail sentence, and the same again, and then the same for body paragraph 2. Then a conclusion stock sentence. We're going to talk a lot about that today. Opinion or solution or whatever the question asks for, and a final sentence. Okay, that's the basic structure. Now let's move on to how we can upgrade. So here is an essay that follows that exact structure. Don't worry about the questions and the answers and whatever the words. We're just looking at structure. Now, what I want you to realize is that the introduction, it's going to get you band 5. It's not going to get you band 6 or band 7. The introduction takes you as far as band 5. The examiner just wants to see that you have a good introduction with all of the correct elements in place. He's not going to award 6, 7, 8 based on your introduction. So I'm making band 5 stuff yellow. So the band 5 stuff, I'll explain what I mean soon enough, is going to be yellow, band 6 is going to be green, band 7 is going to be pink. So the introduction is just band 5 material. In addition, this one, it's good for CC, but in terms of TR and CC are connected a lot of the time. It's also band 5 stuff. The examiner isn't looking here to see if you should get band 6. The examiner is looking here, this sentence over here, your idea sentence. That now is a band 6 sentence. All of the ideas sentences are band 6 sentences, as well as the final sentence where you actually answer the question and give your opinion. So this is where the examiner, in these sentences over here, this is where the examiner is looking for, did you answer the question? Can he give you band 6? Can he move your score up to band 6? So far we're looking at something like that. So when the examiner is looking to decide, did you answer all parts of the question? Let's quickly look at the band descriptors. For band 6, it must be addresses all parts of the task. If you don't address all parts of the task, then you addressed it only partially. And then in those sentences, you will only get band 5 for task response. So he wants to see that you addressed all parts of the task. And where do you do that? You do that in these green parts over here. That's the band 6 material. And then the band 7 plus material is here when you start to support and develop your ideas. You start to support and develop the band 6 material. And this is where we really want to focus on. So this is also just band 5 for task response material, not really important. This I'm going to talk about later. It doesn't really need to be there. I'll explain why later. And this is probably also part of the band 6, or maybe even the band 7, where you're supporting and developing the idea, your opinion in the conclusion. So yes, look, I know that it's a lot of color, but the reason I'm doing it like this is because I want you to see that certain parts of the essay and certain sentences have certain functions. This is basically just big linking language over here, telling the examiner what you're going to be talking about in this paragraph. That's just your topic sentence. Here's where you give him your idea. Here's where you develop your idea. But now please don't misunderstand me. I say this is band 5, so don't think, okay, well, it's not important because it's just band 5 material. That'll get you up to band 5. It's super important because if you make a mistake in the band 5 material, you end up getting band 5. So you can't make mistakes over here. It's really, really important that you get through your introduction quickly and with 0 mistakes. But now we want to develop. And so where do you develop? And this is where you want to push your task response up higher. And you do it by developing this stuff even more. So you're going to put another sentence in there. I've just used XXX to represent a sentence. So you're going to have another sentence and develop this idea in the green and develop it even more. So that also becomes band 7 material. Then you can do that over there, again over there, and again over there. And now we're starting to look like a band 7 plus essay where you're starting to really develop your ideas. Please note, I'll say again and again and again, I'm not talking about grammar here, I'm not talking about vocabulary, I'm talking about task response. So what you can even do then is make that into a new paragraph, make that into a new paragraph. You can do this if you want. I do advise it because a big long paragraph that is too long is difficult for the examiner to follow. There's no harm, and it's actually very nice to start a new paragraph with your next point over here. You don't need a new topic sentence. So then you've got your introduction, and now you've got 4 smallish paragraphs really exploring the idea and developing the idea. Let me quickly talk about this sentence. It's not actually that necessary. The reason I actually put this in the basic template is for students who actually are struggling to write 250 words. And so this just gives them 10 or 15 extra words. So we can actually take that out, because one of the problems that you start running into now with the higher bands is that this essay starts to get too long. It's one of the conflicts with IELTS essay task 2 is that how can you really develop an essay in 250 words and in 40 minutes? So once you start getting to the higher bands, it becomes a problem. You've got to balance out the development against the number of words because you don't want it too long. So perhaps you could even only put one there. Put that one there. If it's getting too long, then you don't really need that one over there, as long as you've developed this point in this paragraph. In that case, then you would have 3 body paragraphs, 2 for the one which you prefer and 1 for the other argument. So for example, let's say you gave an example over here. Here it's a conditional. Maybe you say, for example. Many teachers think that you shouldn't just give an example, you must also comment on the example and develop it further. So then you would give your example there and then comment on the example over there. So you're basically using this material here to develop the idea and push yourself into band 7, 8 territory. But please, I just want to emphasize, you shouldn't really start pushing yourself into this and hoping that you're going to get a band 7 or 8 for task response if you can't do this stuff properly. For example, I'll show you something that a student sent me. So this was the question. Countries are becoming more and more similar because people are able to buy the same products anywhere in the world. Do you think this is positive or negative? Then the student said, in the modern era, countries are becoming similar has become highly controversial. Just chosen one of my stock sentences and just pushed something in there with very bad grammar, using the wrong stock sentence, and so this is band 5 over here. So please be careful of these stock sentences. If you don't know what they mean, then don't use them. Don't think that you can just use them for any situation. What I've emphasized before with these stock sentences is I'm not trying to teach you the stock sentences. I'm trying to teach you sentence structures. For example, here is an adjective. It's the incorrect adjective for this example, but the point is that it's an adjective. That's what I'm trying to say. Another example, this needs to be a noun phrase. Countries are become similar. That's terrible grammar. That's not a correct noun phrase. So with these stock sentences, please view them as sentence structures, not as exact sentences that you have to memorize. I'm trying to get you to know the sentence structure because that minimizes your grammar mistakes. So to get back to this, yes, now we've upgraded our structure. It's looking pretty good, but my advice is make sure that you can handle this structure first. Get this really under control first. Get your grammar under control. Get your vocabulary under control. And then start upgrading your structure. If you can't do this correctly, I guarantee you can't do the upgraded version correctly. One of the biggest problems with IELTS is that students who are actually band 6 are trying to write at band 8 level and they end up getting band 5. Alright, so once your grammar is under control, once your structure is really under control, you're not making any mistakes with any of these sentences, then move on to something like this, which would look same over there, but then you've got 3 or 4 body paragraphs and you've actually done a lot more development of each idea in each paragraph and probably taken that out. So in future videos I'll continue with these sort of upgraded versions and look at some more advanced grammar structures, look at how to develop a whole paragraph with the support, and look at more advanced vocabulary and mistakes that people make with vocabulary. Alright, I hope that's helpful and answers a lot of your questions. But to repeat, can you get band 7 with the original basic template? Yes, you can. Just make sure that you're not making any mistakes and you're using it correctly. Then yes, you can get up to band 7. Get up to band 7 with that template and then use the upgraded template to start moving higher. But don't use the upgraded template before. Make sure you got the basic one under control first. Thank you very much. I hope that helps.